Welcome to Perfection Learning's 6-8 Adoption Overview video. My name is Zach Smith. I'm the North Texas sales rep for Perfection Learning. As I've talked to teachers all over the state, from big districts to small districts and everything in between, it seems that they've had a very similar experience and are kind of telling the same story. The textbooks that were adopted 10 years ago, they were really excited about them. There's a big, beautiful textbook of literature, and once they got it in the classroom, it just failed to bring the instructional value that it promised. And as a result, that burden of finding something that works fell to the teachers. And for the most part, teachers really did a great job at finding things that really connected with their kids. But the problem is that it cost the teachers too much time and energy and money. Sometimes they're paying for their own instructional materials. And Perfection Learning as a company really thinks that if you're spending that much money on a resource, it should make your life easier and really help the students. And that gets to the heart of why we are in this adoption. We've been alongside you in this fight for the last 10 years, providing instructional materials, supplemental instructional materials. So when we saw the new TEKS come out, we said, that's a pitch that we can hit. But we took a step back and said, okay, if the textbook didn't work, what else could we provide, and rethink what the instructional materials could be? And so what you're going to see today is we're offering a suite of materials that is not only innovative and comprehensive, but it's also flexible. Because literally, I don't think I've ever talked to a teacher that said, I start on page 1 and go all the way through to page 450 and just follow the book. Maybe a first year, second year teacher, you can do that with the centerpiece of our adoption offering, Connections, but you can also use it modularly. So no matter what scope and sequence that you have, if you want to keep the one you're already using, or you're using like a TRS, you can actually break out the different pieces of our core piece here, Connections, and attach them to your scope and sequence. So instead of giving you a one-stop shop textbook solution, boom, there's your literature book, we wanted to give you flexible resources that are innovative and powerful, but also can adapt to whatever maybe scope and sequence you have in your district. But we didn't just stop here. We wanted to equip you with a suite of resources so that no matter what happens in the out years of this adoption, maybe in year 7, you get a group of kids that really need help in a specific area. We wanted to give you something that's comprehensive and flexible, but then equip you with a suite of resources that you can draw upon and pull in as needed. So we wanted to give you a lot of voice and choice and flexibility in how and what you teach. So Connections, it is a consumable because we want kids annotating the text. So you will get, for your adoption money, the packet, our main package comes with 8 years of consumable work texts. So this is rich literature, but it doesn't just stop there. We've actually come up with a very research-based, effective way to, I hear teachers say all the time, I signed up to be, a middle school teacher because I wanted to get kids excited about great literature, but I don't really know how to teach them how to read. They can decode all the words, but how do they actually unpack a text? It's a heavy lift, and that's what this was designed to do. So we start with great literature, and we add this research-based close reading process for skill acquisition. So it's not just skills out of context. We're actually practicing very specific TEKS-based skills in the context of great literature. So I can't wait to dive in and show you a little bit about that. But the second piece that comes with our adoption package is Literature and Thought. Now, Literature and Thought is a series of 25 different titles that you get to pick from that essentially has great, complex, rich selections of literature grouped around a theme or an essential question. All right, so there are 25 different titles. So this one is Free at Last, The Struggle for Civil Rights. Voices of the Holocaust is probably the most popular one. I'm a big nerd. I like the sci-fi factor, and one of my favorite ones is To Be a Hero. So those are just 4 of the 25 that you get to pick from in our adoption package. You get the 8 years of consumable work text with Connections that the kids can annotate and mark up, but you also get 2 free class sets of the title of Literature and Thought of your choice. We want students to have, we're big fans of classroom libraries because we want students to have voice and choice in what they read. We're big fans of giving you voice and choice in what and how you teach as a teacher. So another resource that we're including for free in our adoption package, I'm very excited about this, is our high interest, low reading level books. So it's a digital library of 30 of our best high-low titles. We have over 450. So we're including our 30 best high-lows in a digital online library that any kid can access from any device, but there is also a print option. So if you want to have a print classroom library, that's something that we can also offer. So as you're reviewing the materials from the different publishers, notice that a lot of them don't include a lot of grammar, usage, mechanics, that sort of thing. We wanted to equip you with a resource that goes right at that problem. Students kind of struggle with grammar. So we are including digitally, for free, the Essential Guide to Writing and Language. So essentially this is a handbook that takes each mode of writing and says we're going to do a full writing process, steps the students through the writing process for argumentative essay, something like that. And then also the latter chapters are grammar, usage, mechanics. Here's the rule, here's an example. Here's the rule, here's an example. It's very quick, very to the point, very student friendly. Along with this, to accompany this, each chapter has skill sheets. So these are just, if your students need extra practice, the skill sheets are a really great resource, maybe for homework, that just sort of, it's not in context like Connections, where everything's sort of, writing, speaking, listening, all that, grammar in context. This is just separate worksheets that you can pull in as needed. We also wanted to equip you with powerful online tools. Now, there's a digital version of Connections. It's page for page the same. It's very user-friendly and easy to use. You just swipe left and right to turn pages. Any of the text box, you just click in the text box and click out of the text box. And you can also highlight and annotate as well. So it's very simple, very easy to use. Along with that, there's an assignment generator, so you can design tests by TEAK. So you can take a standard and pull in a lot of questions that deal with that standard and design your own quizzes. And something that I get very excited about is PowerWrite. Now, PowerWrite is a new essay writing program that really scaffolds the process of essay writing, no matter what type of essay you're writing, using a suite of graphic organizers. Those graphic organizers really scaffold the process of idea generation, organization, and first draft. From there, the students self-assess, and there's also a peer review process. So by the time they get their first draft done, they're farther down the track than a typical first draft. So one last thing I wanted to mention here, the state is providing over $170 per student in this adoption, and our full adoption package is only $119. So you actually have a lot of flexibility to add certain items. We have a lot of great supplemental things that we can bring to bear to equip you with even more powerful instructional materials. But a couple of things I wanted to mention are classroom libraries and Covercraft. So we actually offer several smaller classroom libraries that, when added together, come out to 330 titles. That's a great start for any teacher wanting to do Reader's Workshop or just have voice and choice for their students in their independent reading. Now, one last thing that Perfection Learning offers that no one else can is Covercraft. Now, Covercraft is our proprietary hard-binding version of novels that comes with a lifetime guarantee. So if the binding ever fails for whatever reason, we replace it, no questions asked. Thank you so much for reviewing Perfection Learning's adoption offering, the most powerful, innovative, and flexible package in this adoption. Connections, Literature and Thought, the digital high-interest slow reading library, the Essential Guide to Writing and Language and its accompanying skill books, and our online suite including PowerWrite. At Perfection Learning, we genuinely want to be your partner for the next 8, 9, 10 years to improve literacy in your district, turn kids on to the love of reading and writing, and make your job more fun and rewarding. If we can answer any questions or provide samples for you, please don't hesitate to reach out by phone or email. Or better yet, we'd love to come sit with you in your district and get a sense of what's going on in the classrooms in your district and see if we can provide a custom set of materials that's perfect for you. We're asking you to go with Perfection Learning in this adoption, and we hope to hear from you soon.